Okay, so I'm gonna shoot a few things at you guys as considerations interfacing with hotels. One major thing you want to understand once you're in one of these environments is how to get back out of one of these environments, especially if there's a problem with the elevators. We showed you the evacuation route. We know already that on either side of this hallway that's outside of these doors, we can use to get our client out. In this hotel, we're on the 8th floor. In many hotels, the penthouse suites and things like that are gonna be high up. So you've got to be prepared to make that evacuation on foot. It's always good to walk those routes so you know where you're actually going to come out if you do go down one of those exit walkways. If you're in a room and you haven't had time to do advanced work, the cheat code is almost always, I believe it's a code, it's on the back of the door. So there's always a map on the back of the door that will show you the evacuation route from your floor. Food considerations, understanding what's around, what actually does deliver to your facility, what the hours of room service are. These are the type of little cheat codes that can help you just be able to render all the service to your client that they will come to expect from you, but also that'll separate you from the competition. Room placement. As often as possible, you almost always want to see if you can get a room on the same floor as your principal and in a place where if you leave your door cracked, someone needs to walk past your room in order to get to that principal's door. That way you can kind of monitor the hallway and understand what's going on. Like I said, I go way deeper into this in training day. There's other tactics such as putting a doorbell ring on the outside of your door so you can actually see what's going on in the hallway and you're notified if someone does walk past your hallway onto your client's door or your door. There's little cheat codes like that. When it comes to evacuations, you want to place your vehicle where it would be advantageous that when you exit the evacuation route, your vehicle is nearby so you can hop right in that vehicle. When you're coming in and out of these facilities, if you're not using a service entrance, which you would do, you would get that set up when you initially liaise with the hotel so that they can take you straight back of the house, down the service entrance. The service entrances are on all the floors, so it's a completely different set of elevators. Back, down the house, out the back. Usually the service entrance is nicer in terms of security because it's more covered. Usually it's in a garage, there's no public access, but it's usually also kind of stinky. There might be garbage back there. It's for the staff, so there's some considerations there based on what your principal or client are used to. Some more cheat codes. Maybe you're renting vehicles, right? And they have both of the rental keys on one keychain, and the house wants you to leave a key with the vehicle. They always want you to leave a key with the vehicle. Sometimes you can give them the right type of handshake and they can give you a parking spot down at the bottom up front so you can have easy access to your vehicle, or they'll allow you to park your vehicle by the service entrance so you don't have to go anywhere near the public to get to your vehicle and leave and come in as you want. That's going to depend on your ability to manufacture, procure, and maintain high quality relationships with the house. Social dynamics of executive protection is really what this game's about. But if you do want those provisions, that's the direction you go. If you want to stay more low profile, underneath the radar, maybe you use a public entrance, you find a good parking spot, and that's where you set your vehicle down. If you have to leave a key with the house, you can take your rental vehicle and make sure you get 2 keys when you rent that vehicle. You can snip that little keychain and make sure you retain one of those keys. That way, if you absolutely need to, you can get to your vehicle and you can make an evacuation in the event of an emergency. Remember, get 2 keys and make sure you retain one of those keys and give 1 key to the house, because in many places, they need to have 1 key for security concerns and considerations. You're in your room and your client has a movement that's scheduled. What time do you get in position? How do you navigate that, right? A few considerations. You want to, at this by now, be communicating with your client via chat or some other method. Generally what I do is the night before, like say we spent a night in this hotel, the night before I send out kind of a run sheet of the day, what the itinerary looks like, who will be at what assignment. So hey, kids are going to Disneyland in the morning with Jeff. He will be in position outside your room to receive kids at this time. Byron will be taking you to the event. I will be positioned outside your room at this time. I will almost always let the clients know that I'll be at their room about 15 minutes before, or up in the hallway 15 minutes before that movement. My vehicles and other assets are all ready and in position at least 1 hour before that movement. I got my vehicles ready. If they decide to score early, we're in position, we're ready to deal with it, we're ready to just flow with them. They may or may not let you have a heads up. They may or may not respond to your text message when you shoot them at that itinerary the night before, but they at least know where you're gonna be, what's gonna be going on. They don't need to respond. They just walk out of their room at the time when the time comes. You're in position, you radio to your boys, hey, we're coming down, green light, green light. You go straight to the vehicles, everything's in position. So everything's gotta be set up an hour before. You need to be in position for that movement at least 15 minutes before. And that's how we make sure everything's smooth. You get in the vehicles, you start communicating with the venue, where you're going, and that's how we win. Join the League of Executive Protection Specialists and upgrade your career, your network, your relationships, your success. We offer a full spectrum of training opportunities. Boom.